this is the data set that is being provided by Tableau for your practice. Okay, you can do a practice on this data set. So let's say what are the field names that are there. First of all, if you'll see what is the name of this data set, it's sample superstore, right? And in this sample superstore file, so assume that this is your database. This is the database, right? The database that I was talking about this database. So in SQL also or Oracle, there will be tables. So we will assume for now that this is your Excel database, and in this there are multiple sheets, right? Order, people, and return. All three sheets have different informations, correct? All three have different types of data. In
Yes,
order
sir.
table, you have all information related to orders. In people table, you have information related to regional managers. In return table, you have information related to products that has been returned. So same way, when you connect to any other databases, let's say Oracle or some other database, they will also have tables like this, different tables. This can be order table, it will have a people table, return table, and so on. So you will use those table in your dashboard, in your Tableau workbook. So let's import this file. Now you have seen this file, right? Now we will use this file. On top of this, we will create our graphs. So now I know that I will be using a Excel file, right? The sample superstore is an Excel file, correct? So from here, I can see here is the name Excel, Microsoft Excel. So I'll click on this Excel file. When I click on this Excel file, it asks me about the location. Where have you saved the file? So I will give the location, as I know that it is under documents, my Tableau repository, data source 2023, and this is my data, right? This is my file. Any doubt till now? So I'll click on open. So the moment I click on open, Tableau creates an establishment. It creates a connection. So now you will be landing to this page. Can you see this data source page? This is where we will be working on stuffs related to data source. That means we will be using, right now I have only connected to a data source. Till now what we have done, we have identified the data type, that it is an Excel file. Second thing is we have created a connection between Tableau and my Excel file. So do you think like you have written any coding or anything? It was very simple, right? It was just a click. Now I can't imagine anything easier than this, like anything simpler than this, right? So only thing is, let's say if, for example, I'll do a let's say if I'm here, and if you want, if you just only have to know, and all these informations will be provided to you. So the database name, let's say for example, if I want to connect, for example, my data is updated in SQL. So I'll check the SQL. If say it is in any other data source, for example, let's say MySQL or Spark SQL, Snowflake, anything. So I'll click on Snowflake, and it will need to we need to install the Snowflake driver. That is a different. But again, these things will be taken care by your project managers, your service desk team. They will do it. You don't have to do all these things. So now let's say I want to connect to Postgres. So whatever is there, connection details, these details will be provided by your client. Okay. So let's take Microsoft SQL Server. So what is the server name? What is the database? Authentication, your user ID and password. So all this detail will be provided by your team members, your manager, your client you will be working for. So you don't have to worry. The connection is very simple. There is no rocket science. Only thing required is you just need to know the data type. What is the database name? Is it Excel? Is it text file? Is it SQL? Is it Oracle? Is it big data? You have all the list over here. Once you identify the data type, you just need to select that data type. So in our case, it is Excel, and I give the location where I have saved that file, the database. So I saved it under documents. So I'll select this one, and the connection is established. Now I need to use that table, right? In my data, this is my database name, sample superstore Microsoft Excel. Can you see? It has the information related to your database. Now within this database, I have different tables: order, people, and return. Can you see these three: order, people, and return? The same file is updated over here: order, people, and return. You will see the same sheet, right? The same data has got imported now. Now what I need to do is, let's say I want to use this order table. So what you need to do is, as I said, that Tableau is a drag and drop tool. So if you see over here, what it says is, so this is your tables, right? Order table, people table, and return table. So by reading this, it's so simple that anybody can understand that it is asking to drag the required table here. Whichever table you want to use, you have to drag that and drop it over here, right? So what I'll do the same thing. I'll drag this order table. I'll press the control button, and then I'll drop it over here, anywhere over here in this area, anywhere I can drop. So I'll drop it over here. Now can you see the connection? Now what has happened is you have used the table in your dashboard now. Until and unless you have not dragged this one over here, you have only established the connection. Now you are using the table in your data, in your worksheet, sorry, in your Tableau. Understood? Till now you have not written any query, any coding, anything, right? It's simple connection, select the connection type and select the tables and drag and drop, right? And that is the reason why I said that for Tableau, you don't require any coding experience. You don't require any language or no complex queries required. It's very simple, drag and drop. Anybody can learn Tableau, and it's very easy. And I mean it. Because Tableau will do most of the things automatically. You don't have to do it. You only need to drag and drop it in the respected area where you want to use it. So as I wanted to use this order table, I dragged it and dropped it in this area. This is actually, if you say in simple word, this is your area, this area from this line over here. This is your area. This is the area from where you will manipulate the data. These in this cell, these are all database information. This will be used for information. So in this, by looking at this, you can see that what is the database name, what are the tables that are being used. Okay, so now first thing, when you do a connection, drag and drop it over here, on the top you will see the database name over here, the connection details. So I have connected to the order table. The first one will be order. This is the order table, right? So I've connected to order table followed by the database name, sample superstore, the same name over here. If you want, you can rename this one. Okay, if you want, you can rename this. Let's say, for example, order detail. It's your wish how you want to use it. Nothing will change, only it's a name. Name will change. Your no data, nothing will change in this one. This is just for your reference. If you have any specific name you want to rename it, you can always do it. Okay. And just 1 second. And if you don't want to rename it, do a Control-Z and it will be in your previous state. Okay. Now, when you see on the right hand side on this area, there, whenever you connect a database, okay, whenever you connect to any database, it's always suggested that you will see a connection type over here, live and extract. So live is basically it's a direct connection, okay, and it will have the live data of the connection that you are having. And extract means it will create a snapshot of the data, okay. It imports the data into your Tableau fast data engine. So it will have, let's say right now, whatever, if I click on extract, whatever data is present at the current moment, it will create a temporary table in Tableau. So if in case after half an hour, if your data gets updated in the database, it will not reflect here. If you want to reflect that update in your database in Tableau, then you have to refresh it. I'll show you how it is. But I would always suggest, and it is always suggested whenever you start working on Tableau, after you establish the connection, you have imported, dragged and dropped the tables. The first thing you should do is change the live connection to extract. Always work on extract. Don't work on live. Why? Because if you will work on live, it will impact the performance of the Tableau dashboard. Because whenever you work on live, what happens is Tableau always go to the database, search the entire database and select for the records that you have requested for. So it will take a lot of time. In extract, what happens is whatever the temporary table, whatever time you have created this extract, it will search within that particular database only. Understood this? So now what we need to do is we need to save our file first. So saving file is simple as we do it for all other applications. So whenever you save a file, you have to give a location where you want to save it, and you need to give a name. So I'll give it the batch name for this. I'll say, let's say new batch. Okay. And as I mentioned, okay, that you will have this .twb and twbx. So save it in twbx format and click on save. And once you click on save, it will ask you that you have selected this extract. To save the workbook, you must either create the extract or click cancel and use a live connection. So what this is saying is, if you want to save this workbook, either you create extract or you cancel this one. Click on cancel. If you click on cancel, the selection will change from extract to live. But we want to create extract. We want to work on extract. So we will select this create extract. So it will take few seconds to create the extract. Now the extract has been created. Now if you see, here is a time that is been updated. 20. I have created. You can always check that when this extract is created. So I have created this extract on 21st of May 2023, that is today at 9:08:04 p.m. So it's 9:08 right now. Let the time change, but you will see that it will still have 9:08 because I created this extract at 9:08. Now I'll show you the difference. Now what happens is, let's say if you go to this one, if you go to this region, And if you see over here that the fields, what are the fields that are there in region? So what are the fields we have? Let's say I'll click on this alias. So we have central, east, south, and west. In the region field, I'll show you. If I drag this region, I'll drag the region and I'll show you. Right now, only concentrate on the fields. Don't don't get confused or think about other options. We will discuss everything in this area. Right now, we are just validating. So right now in our data, what are the fields that is there in region? Region is the field name, right? So if you see over here, this is our Excel file, right? Now, if I go to region filter, can you see? This is the region column. And in that we have central, east, south, and west, correct? So now over here, you have the same data, correct? Central, east, south, and west. Now let's say I have created that file. I have created the extract at 9.8, right? So in this, we have these 4 values. Understood? This I'll explain you what is this ABC. This is nothing. This is just a space. Like we haven't used we haven't updated anything over here. That's why it is showing as ABC. We can always remove this. But this we will cover when we start working on worksheet or as we move ahead. Okay. So right now, I'm trying to only concentrate on this values. Okay, how the data gets updated. So understand that when we have created this extract 9.8. So yes. And I'm using the same this data, right? This is the data that I used in at 9.8 over. Now it is 9.11, 9.12, right? Yes, now sir. What I've done is after I extracted this data, I made let me make some changes on this data. Okay, so what I'll do is let's go to the region column over here. Okay, and what I'll do, let me add one more line over here. Sorry, I will add this line over here and I will name it as 67. This is ID number. And for this, let's say in this one, I'll type new record. Did you understood what I did? So what I'm trying to explain is, now this is a database that you have used. After some time, your database gets updated. There is new record gets added in your database. So I did the same thing. I copied this one, Control C, and I paste it over here, Control V, and I change it to 7, this ID. And over here, I went to this paste and I renamed it as new record. Is it difficult? So assume the same scenario when you start working in a company. They told you that you have to use SQL. You established the connection SQL, and you have used this table and you created the extract at this time. And what happens is every day your data gets updated after every half an hour. Okay. Database gets updated after every half an hour. So in our scenario, let's say one record has been updated after half an hour. After I created this extract, after this time. Understood? So, but when I check over here, can you see it? Now let's go to this filter. Okay. Now when I go to region, I can see it showing as new record, central, east, south, west, and new record, right? In my region column. But over here, I'm still not able to see this new update. The data got updated, but my worksheet, this data has not been updated, right? So ideally, if I update this data, if I have updated one record, this new record, it should reflect in my dashboard also, right? In my Tableau also, right? So our dashboard should always have the updated data, correct? So what we need to do is we just need to refresh this dashboard. Okay. So let's say I click on this refresh. Now what happened is I have refreshed the data. So Tableau, what has happened now is when I clicked on the refresh button, Tableau has gone to this Excel file. Tableau has gone to this Excel file and it has checked the entire database and it searched for a new record. So Tableau saw that there is one update. This line has got updated. This has been added newly, recently. So what it will do is it will add that row in my database now. If I go to the sheet now, you will see that new record has got updated. Just see. When I go to the sheet, can you see the new record has got added over here? Correct. Now let's say I add one more record over here. Same thing. Okay. And what I'll do, I'll name it as 8 ID. I'll change this one. Now let me change this name. Let's say I'll name it as I'll name it record 2. Okay. Let's name it. I have renamed it. So now I have added one more record over here. Yes. I'll save this. Now what you are saying is why the time is not updated, right? Let's go to the data source. Do you think the time is not updated? So when you will create the extract, you will always have that name, time. Now let's say this is 9:16. Now I made the changes at 9:18, right? A new record. Now if I want to get this new record updated, record 2, what I need to do is, what should I do? I need to click on refresh. Now I have clicked on refresh. Now what has happened is Tableau has gone to the Excel file again. It checked for this data, the new update. So it find that this is a new update in the database, right? So it will import this new update and update this data according to that. So now I should be able to see the same record as this has record number 2 in my Tableau. So now when I click on extract, okay, so what I have to do is I have to save this file. So I will click on Control and S. So you see it asked me that you need to create an extract. So I'll click on create extract. Once the extract is done, okay, then you will be able to see the new time over here. It might take a second or two. So just one second. Hold on. Now can you see the new record has got updated as in our Excel file, right? I've added record 2 and the same has got updated in our dashboard also. Now go to data source and you will see the latest update time. So how this time can be useful, how you can read this. Let's say you extract this data and your manager calls you and tells you that this dashboard is not showing the updated value. Okay. So how you will verify that? So you will check with the database team that when is the database last updated, like when it was refreshed. So your database team will say that, see, I have updated my database at 9:25 or 9:20 or whatever time. So you will match, let's say he says that 9:25, I updated this database at 9:25. So you will come here and you will see that, okay, my database is last updated at 9:20. And the database team is saying that he has updated the recent data at 9:25. So that means I have not updated, this dashboard is not updated. So I need to refresh this dashboard, right? Because this I have extracted before the data got updated in the database, correct? So this is validation. What I'm telling you is how you can validate, okay, if your dashboard is updated or not. So there might be scenarios like you have created a dashboard. Okay, you have created a dashboard today. Tomorrow your manager sees the dashboard. You share that dashboard to your manager and your manager looks at the dashboard and he says that this dashboard is not showing the updated data. Can you check why? So what you will do, how you will verify that whether your dashboard is showing the updated data or not? So you will ask with the database team, right? Who creates the table, who update all those things. So you will check with them and ask them when the data has got updated. So he will tell you about the time that when it was updated. So you can match that time with this time, that if it is same or is it after that. According to that, you can identify that if you have refreshed this data before that time, then that means you need to refresh it again, or else you need to check with the team for further investigation, right? You can say them that, okay, I have refreshed it, but your data is not updated. So we can, by looking at this time, we will be able to verify that whether our dashboard is updated or not. It's very simple. Understood?